Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Legacies. This is episode 10 of season 1. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series so far. I really hope in this episode we do get LIZZIE and JOSIE back in after being on a trip with Caroline, the mother. You know, they must have been spending this sweet 16th birthday with them because she wasn't here in the episode that Jo, the bio mom, returned, which was a good episode and I really enjoyed seeing her. I think it's been pretty decent, to be honest, with the storyline. I kind of like how we're getting each character progressing slowly through each episode. We're giving each of them a little bit of time to shine, and we're also like establishing what is it called, Malibu, and what it is. And you know, and there's 3 keys. We know 2 of them, one of them successfully been sent back and unlocked, and then we've got like this other agent, so to speak, that's hunting down Landon. You know, he was there at his mum's house when he was first there, and then he was part of like the cover-up, so to speak, of what was going on. Rick clocked that it was a fake, you know, a team that was around the house that was asking questions. Did he know who you are and who is this person? And he used a fake name, Rick, as well as Hope, when they got off. We later seen that guy further on in the episode after Landon's mum did jump into like the tar pit where the knife dropped in that did go to Malibu, and he ended up kicking one of the workers into it as well, whilst finding a picture of Landon and his mum. And he's still going around asking questions. Last episode he went to Landon's original, what would you say, like adoptive parents, the ones that we seen in episode 1 that took Landon and Raphael to the church when he was trying to like I don't know, do some mad ritual on him, where the exorcist, pretty much, when they thought that Raphael was like a crazy possessed person, which is a werewolf. But those people, he was speaking to them, it looks like somebody has compelled them. They couldn't physically say anything. They kept saying, you know, Landon and Raphael, they've been sent away to a nice school with very good parents. Do you know what I mean? And then he got invited in, and it made me think that this guy's now a vampire, because it was just the way he smiled when he said, do you want to come in? And he was like, yeah, I'd love to, you know. So, I mean, I like what's going on with there, because there's a bit of mystery around it. I'm not too sure who he is, who he's working for, and like why exactly he wants to go for Landon. He did ask about Raphael, but he only cares about Landon. He's got the picture, he's trying to hunt him down. In the school, you know, we had like a demon come. They thought it was like a dream demon or something that could get inside your head when you was asleep and make you visualize your worst fears, whilst also like if it dealt some damage to you inside the dream, it affected you in the real life. So Raphael got like a mark on his arm, and like Landon, he stabbed himself and he cut his hand. So it looked like it could do something like what happened with Bonnie when she was being the huntress, when she was stabbing Enzo and all that, when he tried to save her, and it marked them in the present. But it turns out through Landon's help, when doing a bit of studying, that they actually got it wrong, mate. It isn't one of these night things. It was something else disguising itself as this, so that they didn't truly know how to defeat it. I think that's actually quite clever, you know. It's kind of giving the demon, or whatever you want to call it, a bit of brains to trying to conceal its identity so that it can enhance its powers. But in the end, it didn't really matter, did it? Once again, they had a fight and they successfully won the school. But it was just Hope again on her own. She didn't really have no input from the rest of the class. Yes, they was there and they used them as bait to try and draw it to the school. They all pretended they all went to sleep, and it went inside all of the minds, and it was showing them all a bit of the worst fears. Showed MG about him being a ripper, showing Raphael about well, he kind of wants to date Hope, really, but he said that it's never going to happen. You had Landon, he was locked in a confined space. Somebody else was, and you had Caleb, he was there as well. I can't remember exactly what his was, but they all worked out as a team, which was good. You know, it's showing some bonding. But at the end of the day, there was just a fight, and it was just Hope that successfully defeated it. You know, they bigged her up like she was like a little bit of a badass, which she is, but I want to see more of a threat coming from these demons. I want them to successfully, you know, maybe knock Hope out and somebody else has to come in and save the day. I want all of them to work as like a tag team and all come in and do a bit of powers so that we can see bonding again. And I definitely want LIZZIE and JOSIE to come back in, because in the first few episodes they was really shining. I was really enjoying the storyline that we was getting with them as the 2 sisters, as well as with MG and Raphael, and obviously Penelope, who we haven't seen for a few episodes. So I do think it's time for them to come back, because because they revolve around quite a few characters with good storylines, as well as this new guy who's been introduced. I don't know who he is, who's trying to find out who Landon is, and we still need to know like who his dad is in Malavo, and you know, whether his mum has fully died when she jumped into the tar pit, or whether she's actually been sent to the dark pit that's inside there. So I mean, there's loads of questions. I think that they still got the urn. That I don't think that successfully the demon took it, so I do still think that it's in the possession of the school, whilst only one of the keys that have been sent back. So we know 2 of them, one's been back, one's in the school, and one's left unknown. And we're on episode 10, so we've got this, and then we've got a couple more, don't know if it's like 16 episodes in this season to establish the 3rd, and obviously get to Malavo and see what's going on. So really excited. Hopefully guys enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please smash a like, it really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
You sure it glowed again?
I sleep with the damn thing under my pillow. It's hard to miss. I need you to focus.
Look, I'm trying. I just wish that Satan's nightlight would give us some rest.
Yeah, and I wish that
this
night was
avatar.
never in our school to begin with, but it's not like we can change that now. We're supposed to get in until tonight.
Mom was able to get us direct into Dulles, then faxed, texted, and emailed you our revised itinerary.
I am so sorry. It's chaos around here.
We've been in crisis mode around here.
Oh, we've heard all about it. Hope got bamboozled by one of the monsters, and now only 2 keys separate the entire supernatural community from being consumed by a hell portal. Thanks a lot, Hope. I wish Hope had never come to this school. You're a freaking genie.
Ginny.
That's pretty decent. It better tie into a storyline. Also gotta say though, it better tie into a storyline. Like I do hate it when you get a one-off episode and it's just a one-off episode. It's nothing to do with the story. If it plays into it, totally happy with it. Totally happy, because I did say I wanted Lizzie and Josie back, and now we're going to get a full episode kind of like dedicated to either both or one of them. So 2 thumbs up from me so far. I just hope it plays into what's been going on.
I'm not really in the mood to watch Hope be a ninja today, Dad.
Who?
So, yeah, innit?
Ah, the duck. Come on, let's go. Get out of there. Really proud of you guys.
It's actually really sad, actually, when you think about it.
We're your tour guides.
I'm Josie.
I'm Lizzie. Sisters.
Twins.
The maintenance staff must be on holiday or something.
Hard to get anyone to stay.
Well, if these are the breakfast offerings, it's no wonder. Where are the pastries?
You know how expensive it is to run this place? How hard it is to get benefactors? I mean, Damon Salvatore has been as generous as he can be, but he and Elena have kids of their own that they need to take care of.
Oh, check this out, mate.
I'm gonna
Wait. What timeline are we in here? I.e. this, the 16. When we last seen Elena and Damon, they was dead, but they had a long life together. So is Damon and Elena alive in this timeline? Oh, that's interesting, me that actually, because Damon and Elena hadn't died. Like in the space of these here, they hadn't died, have they? Because in the final season, these was what 8 or something, like 16. So it's only been 8 years. Now in the future, Damon and Elena lived a long life. They didn't die after 8 years. That's exciting me. That means that in this, surely in this show, Damon and Elena and Stefan and Bonnie and everyone's alive. Wait, but then Caroline, but then Elijah and Klaus are dead though. What's the timelines between both shows and like the dying? I am head scrambled, but very intrigued.
The Saltzman twins are blazing hot, but the blonde one is muy loco.
Fix it.
Is that to be your next wish?
Yes, that will be my... Wait, I know how this goes. I waste my first wish by not being specific. I waste my second one trying to clean up my first.
We'll find new recruits, I promise.
The instant a new young supernatural being is awakened to their powers, this bad boy lights up.
That's incredible. I mean, how did you know how to do this?
An annoying know-it-all witch I knew in another life.
There's so many of them.
All waiting for us to come to their rescue, Daddy.
New Orleans.
Oh, yes. Look at this.
You've got to be kidding me.
Who the hell are you?
I knew your parents. I know where all this darkness you're feeling comes from.
Isn't it? No matter what, it always goes back to normal.
You belong here, Hope. This could be your home. The family you lost.
I told you, man, it's sad, really. This whole episode, it's like a sad episode about Lizzie's feelings.
I wish Hope had never come to this school, and she hadn't until today. Fascinating that your father's dream couldn't be realized without her presence, isn't it?
I wish that there was never a Salvatore school to begin with.
My question is, right, it stresses me out people get free wishes or whatever. I think every single time I watch a show when someone gets a wish, I hate every single one of them that they all do. And they always do get wasted. You know, I would love to watch a show where someone gets 3 wishes and they smash it out the park and all of them are next level and they have the best life ever, instead of waste and then back into where they was. Same old, realising that what they had was decent enough already. Like, literally, I would go to a lawyer and I would get a terms and conditions wrote out and I would say, is there any counter to what I'm about to say? Can they twist it in any way? If I said, I wish for this, and they say you wasn't specific enough, I would make sure that clause was in there. I'd say, look, on condition 2.1.4, I said this and this and this. There's no backtracking. This is what I meant. You know, I would go all in extreme.
Well, I hate to sound like a broken record, but if you expose your powers...
You risk becoming a target.
Why am I in the back seat?
Didn't call shotgun.
Lizzie, do me a favor and try to keep it together today, okay? It's important.
Okay.
Homecoming queen!
I don't have a date.
I can't wait to see what you have planned for tonight.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. Somebody's clearly having one of her off days.
Lizzie Bear, relax. There's only so much a doctor can raise your dosage before my mom's pharmacy will plumb run out of pills.
Does anyone remember the name of the battle? Anyone? Anyone?
Is it just me? Or is Dad a little day drunk?
Why is he still wearing his watch?
Why wouldn't he be?
How could you forget?
I'm sure I didn't forget.
Stephanie Salvatore's dad gave him the watch. It's a magical object that I can siphon so I can take things to the next level with Connor.
Mate, I'm the one cheating. This is Salvatore, Stephanie.
Everything you are experiencing is, in fact, a potential reality that has occurred as a direct result of your wish. You went and wished his dream away because it wasn't perfect. Well, now the students here don't care about protecting your fragile ego.
See, right, her wish, is it not just to have her dad be a bit more involved in her life more than Hope, yeah? Like, so she could just wish, look, something like, I wish everything was back to how it was before my first wish, but my dad was a little bit more involved in my life and spent more time with me and my sister. That is it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be any more confusing than that. You've literally just wished for how your life previously was, but for your dad to be involved a little bit more than before. That is what I'm getting from this episode. That's all she wanted in the first wish. She's jealous of Hope for spending so much time with Alaric when Alaric's not spending enough time with Lizzzie and Josie. And also, if this was happening, why would you do that in school?
I mean, honestly, Lizzie, if I believed every paranoid delusion that came out of your mouth, I'd be just as crazy as you. And why do you think that he drinks all the time? He hates his job. The only reason why he works here is to keep an eye on you. I am done worrying about when you are going to snap.
I'm sorry.
I hate you.
Elijah's car.
Compel the students to forget what they've seen.
On it.
Jed, establish a perimeter, lock the place down.
Copy.
Pedro,
Yes, Pedro.
call in the chopper.
Son of a bitch!
It's just showing that no matter what, he always ends up finding Hope. That's what it's
Make
showing.
yourselves at home.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Sorry if the chopper ride was too bumpy. Bathroom's down the hall.
I know where it is.
If this is to be your third wish, might I suggest you wish for what you truly want?
I wish Hope Michelson was never born.
Sun's almost down. Can't stay here.
Patrols will be out soon. We gotta move.
Raphael's wanted. Where's he missing?
Why are their eyes all scratched out?
Because they're finally free.
Okay, lead the way, Blondie.
Yo, these vibes are actually really good. Like,
Supernatural
I
horror
do
isn't
like
just a
watching
fairy tale.
shows like this, you know, like where everything's like apocalyptic and...
Penelope, what's going on?
At least you earned this mental breakdown.
Please just tell me what's happening.
Out!
You can't be here. You don't remember what happened. Must be some sort of amnesia triggered by the trauma.
Where's Josie?
The vigil's for her.
Josie's not really gone, I promise, okay?
That is pretty sick how they knock him out like that. What I don't understand is why she's so persistent on Hope and not the actual... Do you know what I mean? Like, when I look at the situation between her and her dad and Hope, yeah, I don't understand how any of it's Hope's fault. And I wouldn't say it's any of it's... it's a tough one, actually. I was going to say, like, any of it's Rick's fault. But it is Rick's fault, but not meaning to. Like, why is it Hope's fault that somebody's spending time with her? It should be, if you're not spending enough time with your dad, and it's not because you don't want to spend time with him, then you need to address that with Rick and say, look, Dad, yeah, we're your kids, and you're spending so much time with somebody else. We would love to spend some time with you as well. But she's just hinged it all on Hope's the problem, you know? Let's eliminate Hope out our whole lives. It's like, no, the problem is that your dad is helping everybody, but by helping everybody and spending time with Hope, spending less time with you. So you need to address that. That is the problem. Rick's time. It's not Hope being alive. And, you know, she's wasted 3 wishes on blaming Hope instead of just addressing, trying to spend more time with her dad.
Third wish is always tricky. Better luck on your next one.
My next one.
But if you'd like another wish to reset your life, right back to where we began, I can do that on one condition.
You trapped me in the worst situation imaginable just so you could get what you want.
Given one final chance to win my freedom, so accept my offer and wish me the urn.
If I wish you the urn, I'm giving you the key to a supernatural apocalypse. Magic always has a loophole.
Yeah? Well, you better find it quickly. Things are taking a hell of a turn up there.
Are we hiding?
No, we're fighting. Triad got wind of our location.
Oh.
Mom and I had been waiting for the right time to tell you a piece of your family history.
No, why is it getting told
We
here?
waited too long. There's something that happens to twins born into your coven. When you turn 22, the Gemini must merge.
Merge?
But when we turned the house into a rescue operation, one of the witches who was passing through told you the story of the Gemini and you. You had one of your episodes and you went dark. You became obsessed with winning, and then you lost control.
I killed her.
The person I hate is myself for failing you both.
No matter what happens, I need you to hear this. To believe me, there's a world where your dream came true. And I was just too stupid and jealous to see it.
I actually really like that scene. It was like one of the best ones we've had in the show.
I love you. I love you so much. Let's go give them their war.
They have tied it into the storyline, and I have enjoyed the episode. I've enjoyed how we flick through different realities, we flip through different possibilities as well. The Gina, she was saying, look, mate, anything could happen in these things. These are scenarios that all could have happened in you know, depending on decisions that was made in the world. Interesting. What I really do like is how she's come to the realization Rick's a great dad, you know. Yeah, he spends time with Hope, etc., but he's helped so many people, and she's come to realise that she's been a bit selfish, making it all about her, which is great, like, because I have no problem with her at all. I really like her. I actually really like her. Last 2 episodes I've been saying I definitely want them back. I've got it, full episode on them, and it's been really good. So I love the fact that she's come to reality that her dad's a good person, he's helping people, he's you know, it's not just all about LIZZIE. I'm hoping that actually when we go forward she changes. Like, I want her to stay as funny and as she is, but a bit more caring. And like, how good would it be, yeah, when they get back into the present reality, that she, without telling anybody what happened, puts her sister first, and her sister will be like, what? You're putting me first? Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just that she still seems a nice person, but she's just thinking a bit more and saying nicer stuff to Rick and helping Josie a bit more, just for obviously the actions that they've seen that play out. So that was great. I thought that scene there with the Rick and her was probably the best one that we've had in the total show, to be honest. We didn't even see Hope in this section, in this world, which is really interesting. I like how he said that Klaus, you know, they say something like Hope was never born or something, and he lost it and he turned his humanity off and he's gone off and he's dominating and started a war. That's pretty good. It would make sense. That is something Klaus would do if Hope died or wasn't born. So it was really good. Now, obviously, I think that they are going to come back to the present and she's going to give the urn. It's the only thing that makes sense. And how would you address telling Rick about the merger? I would address it because she knows that he's not being an arsehole by not telling him, because she's been in these realities and she's just listened that Caroline and Rick are doing everything they can ever since he was born. That's why Caroline's consistently away to stop the mergers from happening. Now, they said 22. I thought it was 21, but that doesn't matter. But what does matter is she knows her dad's trying to help, and instead of going over to him mad, she should go over to him and say, look, I've just read in a book somewhere Gemini twins have to merge. Like, is that true? Do you know what I mean? I would address it in that situation instead of confronting him.
It'll go so much easier if you just accept my offer.
Zip it, Smurfette. I am selfish. I've made mistakes. But giving you the urn would be the biggest mistake of all. I am never wishing you that urn.
Yes.
You want it so bad, why didn't you just take it when... Because you can't. But I know how to fix you. I wish that you had never met the monster that sent you to Malivore. That's my wish. Take it or leave it.
It was just like all those poor souls I helped over the centuries who used their final wishes to reset their realities. Somehow our journey stayed with them and slowly drove them insane.
That's fine. And I actually would say that's fine. The only reason why I'd say that's fine, just before it ends, is that she's back in the reality and everything is normal. And it is in her mind and it's not set in stone that when she finds out she's going to react that way. It's a possibility. But it's also a possibility that all those actions that we've just seen here happening. So she might remember it and remember the part that Rick's just told her, the conversation. And she might remember the actions that she done and change it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be too hung up on it. Now, the thing is, it's a show and it's obviously probably going to happen again in real life. She's probably going to find out, probably going to go after her and go crazy. But in this scenario, you got to look at what's the best scenario you could have hoped for. This is the best scenario. She's back in the present with pretty much the same knowledge as she had before she went into it. But subconsciously, she knows a little bit more. Oh, look.
Oh, what's happening? Why are you suffocating me?
I have no idea. And I realize this is all very sudden, but I just have this feeling that something terrible is gonna happen.
Any other leads? Well, keep at it. We'll find a solution.
It's not dead, is
You
it?
got a sec? To manage my ups and downs, but they all go out the window when it comes to hope. I love you, Dad. Thoughts in my head, I think that they have something to do with hope, but I can't put my finger on it.
You said you wanted to talk.
Did I?
Oh. Forgetting already.
Can't imagine why.
Interesting. I thought it was a good episode, actually. I did say I wanted it to tie into the storyline, and it definitely did tie into it by showing us some exciting other like alternate realities. They spoke about the Gemini coming, spoke about the merging, showing about Hope and Rick's storyline of like how she's jealous of them and she kind of wants more time with her dad, and then realising, you know, like a bit of self-realisation that like he's actually a great dad. He's put others, like he's doing loads of things for others and he actually still is there for them. And our Caroline and her mum are doing and her dad are doing everything to like save them from this merge, even though she can't remember it. I do think it was a solid episode, to be honest. I did enjoy it. I like it when... Do you know the one where she woke up and she was like in the world where Josephine died? That one. I actually like watching shows like that. It kind of reminds me of the Maze Runner and stuff. Do you know when they get on the outside and like Divergent and stuff when they're in that like mad type of world? I actually like that. It's really good. It's like futuristic. Also like not a lot of people, survival. It's decent. And then you get like an uprising, Mad Max that sort of style, like... Really good. I enjoyed it. It was a good episode. I did ask that I wanted Lizzie and Josie back, and we got it. A full episode dedicated as well. So, like, it got no problems for me at all. The only thing that I want to happen is the fact that I want them to find out that the merge is a thing so they can all address it together. I think more heads looking into it is better than two heads. Do you know what I'm saying? You could have most of the school looking into it, or the two sisters, or like Hope, or anyone. Just the more the merrier. But I understand why Rick wants to disclose that information. He don't want to disclose it because he doesn't want them to panic. But in this instinct, yeah, we've seen it. If she found out in that other reality, she went on a mad and she got paranoid. She's obviously got, as I say, problems. We haven't really seen the problems, but like, she must have some sort of mental problems. It seems like she's on meds or something. She has episodes, and like obviously this is going to trigger it, and it's going to make her go a bit crazy, get paranoid, and attack her sister. Feel like it's the only way to stay alive. So I actually don't want that to happen. I know that we've been told that was what happened in that reality, but we also got told Rick telling her about the Gemini covering, yeah? So that is in her conscience as well, and I want her to get that first, and obviously remember the other stuff that Rick was telling her. That was a amazing scene that they had, and I enjoyed it. I did think today was a good one. And that is going to wrap up today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. I thought it was a good episode, and there was a good plot building for Lizzie's character, to be honest, and obviously Josephine's possibly in the future. Now, Rick was holding the book of the Gemini at the end, and I think that she may find that. I'm going to say that she finds it, and she reads it, and she does get paranoid. That is what I'm going to go down. They've dropped it in, but I feel like that is something that will possibly happen, considering that we've been told a few times that she has a few episodes. Now, obviously, in this one, she had 3 wishes, and she pretty much wasted them all on focusing on Hope and thinking that she was the problem, like with the relationship with her life and just everything. When actually, I read it instantly, and I've read it since the start, that she's actually jealous. Like, she thinks she's jealous of Hope, right? But that is kind of right, but she's more jealous of Rick's time not being spent with the children, his children, and more spent with Hope. So she sees it as like he's more of a dad to Hope than it is to them. But that is not Hope's fault. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she needs to just go to her dad. It could easily be addressed by going to your dad and saying, look, we should spend a bit more time together. But she blamed it on Hope all this episode 3 times and wasted her wishes. Do you know? So that was interesting. She was really clever doing the wish for the genie at the end, and obviously making that she never went to Malibu, but obviously that there was a catch, and now she's got a bit of information in her mind, and she's saying that once she remembers any of it, it's going to drive her crazy, and she's just going to follow through with those actions again. So that is one that I'm interested to find out. Now, I was saying in the intro about this person coming after Landon, and obviously, like, he was hunting down his mum and all that, and he was invited into his foster parents' house at the end of the last episode, and he might possibly be a vampire, but we don't know yet. We haven't even seen it once in this episode. It didn't even get addressed. We didn't even see Raphael either. We've seen Hope a few times, but it was only in Lizzie's, like, subconscious or whatever you want to call it, and like one little clip at the end, no Landon. So it was interesting. You know, we did definitely focus on Lizzie, but I also like that she come to the realization that obviously her dad is a great guy, and also that she always makes everything about herself, which she kind of does, but I have no problem with it because that's a character. It's kind of like Caroline, and who don't love Caroline? So, you know what I mean? Characters have their own traits. You can't knock them. Like, you can knock them if they're an awful character. Like, if she makes it all about me, and then she's so annoying, and she's so boring, and she drags everyone down, that's a difference. But Lizzie, no, for me anyway, personally, I think she's been really good. I've liked her character. I do like how she's like about me, because that is her character. Like I said, I really love Caroline. It's got traits of her mother, so I have no problems with that. And we even referenced it a few episodes ago where like Lizzie is like Caroline and Josephine is like Joe. You know, pretty much the same. So I do like how they got traits of the parents. Now, I like seeing Rick in a different roles. You know, his character was definitely changing. One with like an old grey beard, we had one with a fat belly, one drunk, you know what I mean, and then one like a fighting warrior doing whatever it takes to save them. I also got, well, I will say confused, but interested, and like got me thinking. They said something about Damon and Elena letting them use that school or something, but then whatever's, that's fine. Because in the other reality, they said Klaus was the one that wrote the check for it. So I have no problem with that bit. But just by mentioning the names, and it got me thinking, are they still alive? Is Damon and Elena still alive in this show? Because this is not far from the Vampire Diaries that we've seen. Yes, okay, Damon and Stefan and Elena passed away at the end of the Vampire Diaries, but from what I gathered in the Vampire Diaries is after they took the cure or whatever it is, I can't remember now, after whatever happened to them, they lived a long life together. And that long life is definitely longer than the 8 years that we've seen after the kids being around Sybil and Georgia and all that. So again, man, that is one that has got me really invested and really interested. I never even asked the question as well when we was in the originals, like what timeline is it when Klaus and Elijah died compared to the timeline the Damon and Elena and Stefan? Are the years in the future, years behind? What's going on there? Like, what is it? So I'm fully interested in that, because if we do look at it logically, Klaus and Elijah died when Hope was Hope that we see here, a teen. So that means that realistically, yeah, they should still be alive, Damon and Elena, because if Hope's the same age as the Saltzmans, yeah, the Saltzmans was like 8 years old when at the end of the Vampire Diaries, and being told that Damon, Stefan and Elena had a long life, which means they're still living in that timeline while Klaus has died 8 years from the end of the Vampire Diaries. Might be very confused with that. I'm hoping I'm not, and I'm hoping that they're still alive, because then we maybe get to see them coming back to the mansion. It'd be well exciting. So that is where I'm going to leave today's episode, with that question, which leaves me very excited to obviously read the comments and see what you guys say. So thanks so much for clicking on today's episode. Hopefully guys enjoy it. If you did, please smash the like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you do. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers guys.